Hello, everybody. Welcome to Lunchtime Detroit Lions Talk, brought to you by the Detroit Lions on the Prowl. We got two huge announcements today. Two big announcements today. The biggest one today, it is Curt Steele's birthday. So I had to do that. I didn't tell him I was going to do it. But that is our number one big announcement today. But we're going to go through Lincoln Riley today. Kevin Colbert, he is one of the GMs that looks like it could be a good fit for the Lions, but there's a lot of controversy with it. We'll get into that. We'll get into the Detroit Lions news and rumors, your comment cards, dessert with Curt, everything that you normally get from the Lions on the Prowl. And we're going to be giving you a whole lot more with more on that and another big announcement. Throw it to my man, Curt.
All right. Hey, what up, people? Welcome to the show. You know who we are. We are Detroit Lions on the Prowl, your home for Detroit Lions news and rumors. Hey, guess what? We got a special announcement. Stay tuned to the end of the show because that's going to be our special dessert for the day. A big announcement coming for you.
Huge announcement.
Here, our family on Detroit Lions on the Prowl family. So stay tuned. So as always, join the channel, join the family, subscribe to the channel. Like the videos, comment on the videos. Join us weekdays, 11 a.m. right here on our channel for the premieres of our video, where you can comment, chat live with us right here during the premieres. And if you want to get your comments right up front, you know what you got to do. Join the super chat to get your comments right up front, right where you want them. And all of this helps us get this content to more Lions fans just like yourself. Now let's get this thing started
right now.
Let's go.
Welcome back to the show, everybody, on wonderful Thursday edition of Detroit Lions on the Prowl, lunchtime with Detroit Lions Talk. Getting right into the main course, and we're going to look at one head coaching possibility for the Lions and then a GM possibility for the Lions. First, we're going to start out with Curt and Lincoln Riley.
All right, Lincoln Riley, you know who he is. He is the current coach of the University of Oklahoma. He's 37 years old, so he's a young fella. His wife, Caitlin, and they have two girls. He went to Texas Tech. He was a Red Raider in college. So look at some of his coaching experience. 2003 to 2005, he was a student assistant at Texas Tech. Then 2006, he was a grad assistant at Texas Tech. 2007 and 2009, he was the wide receivers coach for the Red Raiders. 2010, he moved over to the East Coast. He was the offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach for East Carolina. 2015 and 2016, he joined Bob Stoops' staff out there in Oklahoma as their OC. 2017 to current, he is the head coach for the Sooners. So Boomer Sooner out there in Oklahoma. So here's some of the notes about Mr. Riley himself. Okay, Riley ran track at Muleshoe High School in Muleshoe Town is in West Texas. Woo, that is a name for you, Muleshoe. Okay. he began his high school career as a defensive end and made the move to quarterback for his junior and senior seasons. That's a big jump to go from DN to quarterback. Wow, that's a big switch.
It is kind of a weird switch, isn't it?
Yeah, he played quarterback at Texas Tech as a walk-on in 2002 behind senior starter and future Texas Tech coach, Mr. Cliff Kingsbury.
Oh,
Mr. Ryan Gosling doppelganger himself. All right. After a year, he became a student assistant to Mike Leach. Yeah, Mike Leach is a pretty good coach, progressing to graduate assistant and then to wide receivers coach. Following his departure from Texas Tech after the firing of Leach, Lincoln went on to serve for 5 seasons as the OC at East Carolina. Under Ruffin McNeil, Riley was hired by Bob Stoops to be the offensive coordinator for the Sooners on January the 12th, 2015. In his first season at Oklahoma, Riley led the Sooners to the 7th ranked offense in the country and to the college football playoffs. And going a little bit further, on June 7, 2017, Bob Stoops retired. And Lincoln Riley just stepped up and was named the head coach of the Sooners. In 2017, Riley, anchored by Heisman winner Baker Mayfield, led his team to the Big 12 championships and the second in the college football playoffs ranking as a berth to one of the college football playoff semifinals at the Rose Bowl. Oklahoma went on to lose the 2018 Rose Bowl to Georgia in double overtime. I remember that game. That was a pretty good game, high scoring.
Yep.
Yeah. As head coach, Riley has recorded his record is outstanding, going 55-8 through the first 4 seasons, never losing more than 2 games. But he fell short in his first 3 bowl game appearances, losing the Rose Bowl and Orange Bowl and Peach Bowl. Riley finally got his first victory this year against the Gators, where they really romped the Gators and Kyle Trask out there in the Cotton Bowl. So if you kind of look at some of his awards, he has 4 Big 12 championships from 2017 to 2020. So he has the Broyle Awards. This is for the nation's top assistant coach in 2015. 2018, he was the Big 12 Coach of the Year. In 2018, he was the AP, the Associated Press Coach of
not
the
Adrian
Year.
Peterson. Okay.
No, not Adrian Peterson. That's AD.
That's
all
AD.
Day,
Okay.
all day. So who is a Sooner himself? So Lincoln Riley is one of those young minds that he's kind of on that level with like a Sean McVay or Cliff Kingsbury, where he's the hot young thing in coaching, but he's building a really good brand out there in Oklahoma. So with his sustained success out there, I can see where he's an attractive hire for anyone, especially in the NFL, because that's what, people are looking for, the hot new flashy thing. He has a pretty good offense out there. Will it transfer over to the NFL? I think that's a work in progress. Look at Cliff Kingsbury. He's had some up and down success with the Cardinals.
Yeah.
Would I really want Lincoln Riley to come to the Lions? I'm not sure, to be honest with you. I'll just be honest with you.
There's a lot of candidates.
Yeah, it's a lot of candidates, and I'm not sure that it transfers. Some of the college stuff doesn't transfer all the time to the pro game. I know we have a young coach out there like Sean McVay out there at the Rams, but he grew up in the NFL. So he didn't come from college to the pro game. He just went from pro to pro system to pro system, and that's how he got his job. So I'm really not sold on Lincoln Riley, but I think he is a definitely person to look out for in the coaching circles.
I do too, but my thing is it's just my opinion, but I think there's better fits for Detroit out there. But you know what? I wouldn't be mad. I wouldn't be mad if they feel like he's the right guy to bring the Detroit Lions way to do things. And that's my key. Mm-hmm. I want him to bring the right guy. And I think that's the thing that I'm looking at there. Yeah.
And I think he's a young coach. I don't think he's a dictator out there at University of Oklahoma, like some of the other college coaches that are kind of really hard. Like he's not a Saban or a Harbaugh type where they're really hard and stern on their players. I think he's a leader, but I think he's more of a players type of coach out there at Oklahoma. And you can tell, I mean, he can coach quarterbacks. You look at the quarterbacks he's had at Oklahoma. He's had, we went from Baker Mayfield to what's the young fella out there in Arizona, the little guy.
I can't remember him either.
And then you have
and that's stupid because it should be on the tip of my tongue.
It is on the tip of my tongue. And then you have the young fella Jalen Hurts, and then you have what's his name, Rattle out there right now, where he has some quarterbacks. I mean, you think about it, he knows how to coach quarterbacks, and he knows that. And here's the deal with, unlike Ohio State or Alabama, those quarterbacks have had NFL success. So
yeah, that's true. I'm trying to look up Kyler Murray. Why could I not remember
his name?
That happens with us old people.
Yeah, that's old guys. Yeah. I turned 49 today, so sometimes I need to take some ginkgo or something like that, or Prevagen to get this memory right.
Gotta do something.
It's one of those things where it's like he could be a good fit, and he could bring some innovations to the Detroit Lions. One thing we would need to get him is some more speed on offense if we were to use his system in Detroit, because right now we do not have enough speed on either side of the ball.
And get him some good coordinators too.
Yeah, some really good
to help
him. Yeah,
definitely. I got Kevin Colbert
all right
here. And before I get into that, there's some really interesting things that Barry Sanders said coming up on our news and rumors segment. You want to stay tuned for that because it'll help us understand who we want as a head coach and stuff like that. He goes into a little bit detail, so I want to make sure you stick around for that. Kevin Colbert, big name, and we're going to have more news on him coming up. But this is just an overview of him so you get to know him just a little better. Kevin Colbert's age is 64. His college was Robert Morris University when they first built it. Just kidding. His wife is Janice, 3 children, 2 grandchildren, and he works for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and that is his hometown as well. So I don't know. Getting him out of there would be pretty tough. He is a widely credited with putting together a Super Bowl and to couple Super Bowl teams in Pittsburgh, along with the owner, Dan Rooney, President Art Rooney II, and coaches Bill Cowher and Mike Tomlin. And figure out how many coaches they've had there, under this.
They've only had, only his team, they only had 2. Pittsburgh isn't, they don't fire coaches in Pittsburgh. They retire. And, you had Chuck Noll. And then he retired, and then you had Bill Cowher who retired, and now you have Mike Tomlin who retired. And the big thing for me is that all of those coaches have had sustained success in Pittsburgh.
So he has an eye for coaches.
Yeah,
that's the first thing. Second thing, the Lions want him bad. I guess they've wanted him for years, from what I understand. His brother Bob Colbert is a head football coach for the St. Vincent College near the Pittsburgh area. Where coincidentally the Steelers hold their annual training camp. Wow. Colbert grew up not too far from Heinz Field on the city's north side. He assisted in the assembly of 2 Super Bowl winning teams.
How in the hell do we think we're going to get him?
Sorry. How do you get him out of Pittsburgh?
How do you get him out of Pittsburgh?
A huge checkbook is what I'm thinking.
You're going to have to pay, man. You're going to have to pay that.
We got so much more on this later, but you got to stay for the rumors. That's going to be amazing. And then the dessert is going to be huge, a huge announcement coming up.
Stay tuned, people.
His experience is 1995 to 1998. He was a Miami Dolphins college scout. And guess what? The Lions screwed up again in 1990 to 1999. He was the director of pro scouting for who? The Detroit Lions.
And let him out the gate.
So 2000-2010, he's Pittsburgh Steelers director of football operations. 2011 to 2020, he's the general manager and vice president. If they get this guy, it will be the biggest coup for the Detroit Lions I've ever seen in my life.
That'd be the biggest. That'd be the biggest steal in the history of thiefdom of a GM.
This is my and then I woke up thing because there's no way we get this guy.
That is a
no way in the world.
That's a super duper pipe dream right there, brother. I mean, I'm just saying that is.
that's the end. I woke up from that dream thing.
Yeah, I mean, I would say this though. I mean, he does have a history with the Lions, and that's probably one. They're probably trying to make up for the fact they let him out the door. I think it's
a long history too. It's
he was there 10 years. I mean, as a director of pro scouting, how do you let that guy out the door?
I don't know. But they want him back.
You know what that is? That is so Lions.
And you know when he quit? Or when he got out of Detroit? When another gentleman got out of Detroit. Barry Sanders.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he did leave when Barry Sanders left. So,
and from 90 to 99, that is our one playoff win.
Yep. During that time, he was on the staff. Wow, that's crazy.
Amazing coincidences, and that's why we did this, because we just wanted everybody to know what his ties to Detroit, what he's been doing, and they apparently made him an offer. But we're going to go into your comments right now. Then we're going to get into the news and rumors. So we love to do this segment. Because we get to experience what you think and what you want to talk about. So we do that in our comment card section. Dakota Baird. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I don't know. Who you got first, man?
Dakota Baird. And for once, he definitely is. For once, we please get our first choice to actually come to Detroit. Ed Dodds and Robert Salah are my picks and hope.
That is a lot of people.
Ed Dodds is it would be my 1B. No, my 1C. I got Rick Smith second, and I got Colbert first now.
Yeah.
You know how this changes over and over again as we learn more about these people.
It is. All right, Hungry Lion 13. Man, I like that name.
I like that name.
Man, let's feast, baby. All right, do you think that the Lions are dragging their feet a little bit with their search? I love how extensive they've been, but this means that nobody has blown them away in any interview. Does that mean that? I'm not sure that it does. It doesn't mean that. I don't think that it means that no one has blown them away. I think they're just doing their due diligence. They've made some terrible decisions when it comes to GMs and coaches in the past. So I think they're just really doing their due diligence with this. And there's some guys that they cannot interview until they're out of the playoffs. So I don't think they're dragging their feet. I just think they're doing their due diligence. I think really there's only been a couple of hires. I mean, think about how many jobs are out there right now.
Yep.
And there hasn't been a lot of hires. So I think everyone's doing I think they're doing what most other teams are doing, and they're doing their due diligence, making sure that they're getting the right people in for interviews in the building.
Yeah, I don't think they're dragging their paws on this one. Anyway, I don't think that. I think that they are doing an exhaustive search, which they haven't done before.
Yeah,
they've kind of had their guy targeted before, and I like this system much better.
Yeah, I like the system much better as well.
Joe Forgy, Curt and Jim, what up, no?
What up, no?
Can Arthur Smith bring Derrick Henry with him? If he can, I'll hire him. All kidding aside, the appeal of Smith is the running game. Would love to see a real smash mouth ground game come to the Lions, but the experience factor could be an issue. Are Marvin Jones and Brian DeBall still in the running for a coaching job?
Marvin Lewis? You say Marvin Jones. Yeah, Marvin Lewis.
Yeah, Marvin Jones can coach too. He might as well.
He coaches.
No, I'm just kidding.
You know, though, he coaches his sons, the Pop Warner.
He does, I know.
With Phillip Rivers out there in San Diego. Yeah, they do that.
Yep. Great job as always. Best Lions feature on YouTube. Oh, man. Thank you very much.
We appreciate that. Thanks.
So Marvin Lewis is in the running. Brian DeBall is not, as far as I know. They have not interviewed him yet. And he's out of Buffalo.
Yeah,
OC out of Buffalo.
They can't interview him. He's one of those guys that are not going to be able to really interview until he's out of the playoffs. So
right.
Yeah. So but I do like DeBall. He's a hot name around the league right now as well. So
he is. I don't really want Marvin Lewis. It's just my opinion, but that's my thing.
I will.
I do like Arthur Smith though. I really do.
I would definitely pass on Lewis myself, and that's it. And it's nothing personal against Marvin Lewis because he did have some sustained regular season success in Cincinnati at times, but it just wasn't enough to where I can say, hey, we gotta. He's been out of the game for a while. And as far as the pro game is concerned, I just don't think he can bring something to the Lions that would make us a winner anytime soon. All right. Next up, we got Bubba Bo. What up, Bubba Bo? What a performance by Smith. If he is there, how can you pass up that weapon for Stafford? Easy. You draft an offensive lineman.
It is a great weapon.
I understand what you're saying because he is a beast. I mean, that guy, he pretty much beat Ohio State by himself in the first half.
Yeah, he was amazing in that game. But do we draft another Calvin Johnson type person? I mean, Calvin Johnson obviously is
but he's
the standard, I think, for wide receivers.
Only thing for me is that he has speed, but
Calvin had speed.
He has that Calvin Ridley type of thing for me. Yeah. Is that the thing that scares me about him? And not saying that it's he's kind of slight of build.
Yeah. But they can work on that. I don't think that's going to be.
They can work on that, but
I mean, you can't grow them anymore height wise. But
height you can, but you can expand them, width wise. So
right,
that's my only issue with. But Smith, I mean, as long as he can keep that speed and put some more weight on, yeah, man, I'm with it.
my thing here is best player available. Stop drafting for need because we cannot keep doing that. No winning organization drafts for need every year.
Mm-hmm. They draft best player available.
They draft the best guy no matter what because you can trade him later if he turns out to be something, and if you know what I'm saying? Just the best player available. That's I think we should be doing from now on. John Kapler. Right. I think the reason the people think Stafford is so old is because we've never had a quarterback this long.
You know what though? That's a true statement.
That's a true statement.
That is true as all get out. It's usually about 4 or 5 years, and they're going out. They're out the door.
Oh, I think it's less. It's like 3, and they're gone. I don't know. So it just feels like he must be a dinosaur. That's funny.
He's still a young man. I mean,
he really is. People don't realize it, and he's just not that old.
Yeah. Last one. Keeping on that Stafford kind of a theme.
Brain.
Yeah. L. Robert Kendall. What up, L? Stafford has had the misfortune of being tied up in a dysfunctional situation for all of his career.
Yes.
He still has a lot of gas left in the tank, and if he given the right setup, would show the champion that he can be going forward. If the Lions build a solid and balanced team, the quarterback position becomes one of management, less than the one of spectacular performer. So getting the generational quarterback in the draft is not as important as building a championship platform. Wow.
I totally agree with that.
That is a really educated and well-worded comment.
It is.
I like that.
He does that all the time, though. I mean, Kendall, L. Robert Kendall, whoever you are, you're very intelligent. We appreciate your comments because, man, they blow me away.
Yeah, that is a very well thought and orchestrated comment, man, my man. And there's a lot of truth to that as well.
Yeah, because I think that if you put Stafford, who I believe is an elite quarterback, with the rest of a team that's not ranked 30th in the league in just about every category. Imagine what this team could do.
Yep.
They don't need that. I'm saying they don't, but they already have it. So why get rid of it?
Yep.
Anyway, we are on to the news and rumors section. Just a lot to unpack here. Detroit Lions schedule a second interview with Titans offensive coordinator Arthur Smith. I like Arthur Smith actually a lot for head coach. There's a lot of people that are very good as a head coach. So I'm just saying, I like the guy. What are your thoughts on Arthur Smith?
I like Arthur Smith. Like I say, if he can bring that ground attack to Detroit, it would be a thing of beauty. We haven't had a decent running attack in 29 years since Barry Sanders was here.
I like a lot of coaches. In my opinion, changes a lot. I realize that. That's okay.
But it's sometimes it's what they offer as well. Because look at Salah, you want a guy who's going to bring in and repair our ridiculously bad defense that we have right now.
But I think that's the GM's job. I don't think that's the coach's job.
Well, I think the scheme was broken as well too, though. That's what
Salah. That's true too. That's true.
Scheme was broken. All right. Next up, T.J. Hockenson. You know, man, the hot balls out this season. My man, he killed it in the 2020 season. Hockenson produced the third most yards, 723, and the fourth most receptions among all NFL tight ends.
Yep.
His 723 yards ranked as the second most of a tight end in Lions history.
Wow.
And his 67 receptions are third most by any tight end in franchise history. I mean,
that's talking about Charlie Sanders.
Yeah,
we have some really good tight ends.
Yeah,
so
we did, man.
That's amazing, and they still haven't used him right.
Yes, he was underutilized and did that as being underutilized. So Hockenson was one of my favorite guys this season. He definitely did not have a sophomore slump. He built on his rookie season that was kind of disappointing, but and that was cut short to injury. So and think about who he surrounds himself with, with George Kittle and those guys.
Yep.
He works out with elite tight ends to become an elite tight end.
Yeah, I think he's already there. I really do. I think that was, if they learn how to use them, that could be one of the biggest weapons the Lions have.
And I think I said this.
It really could be.
I said this before. Think about this. Think about Noah Fant out there in Denver, who's a good tight end, and George Kittle out there in San Francisco. These guys were his backup at Iowa. He was ahead of them on the depth chart in college.
Yep. That's amazing, isn't it, to think about that? Okay.
Think about it.
So we have one person off the board for the GM job. George Patton got hired by Denver. So he is off the board. But now they're saying Brad Holmes becomes a favorite for the Lions GM position. I don't know.
I don't know.
We talked about Kevin Colbert.
Yeah. And the thing where I think the reason why some people are saying Brad Holmes is because they have that second face-to-face interview with him scheduled. Young guy. I mean, he's talented. He helped rebuild that Rams situation out there. Think about how bad the situation was out there after they mortgaged their whole future drafting Sam Bradford back in the day.
Yep.
And they didn't have. Think about the players they got without having first round draft picks for a while. So
that's true. That's true. They liken him to Ozzie Newsome.
Yeah, he really rebuilt that roster out there. So he has potential.
So let's talk about the Kevin Colbert thing for a second. So it was reported that we had given him a really nice deal. We'd already offered him a contract and everything. Pittsburgh comes out and says, we're not aware of anything like this. We never gave him permission.
What?
So did this ever happen? This came out on 97 won the ticket from Stoney. And I think this could be a problem for the Lions. Let me explain. It could be a tampering thing.
It could be.
Because if Pittsburgh says, hey, we never gave you permission and you offered him a contract, we could be in violation of some tampering rules. Stay tuned.
Lose some draft picks.
That would be awful. We already don't have enough draft picks in the first place. So that's why I wanted to go into this topic. I don't think it's been brought up, but if Pittsburgh is saying that we didn't, we have no idea what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Let's hope it was just a rumor and not a fact.
Somebody doing conjecture or something? I hope not, because that would be detrimental to the Lions.
But you would think on a 97.1, it would be from a source that would be a good source,
a reliable source. Yes, I'm hoping it's not, but coming from the source that it came from, it's just it's so disheartening to hear that, because when I heard it and it kind of broke it, I'm like, he's under contract with Pittsburgh. How are we offering him
anything? Yeah. That's I was not a good look. Not a good look if it's true.
If that's the truth, yeah.
But you mean the Lions haven't come out and said that. This is a report and a rumor, and that's what we do here. We talk about the rumors and stuff.
News and rumors. All right. All right, here's our notes. Next one is Detroit Lions are dead last in PFF secondary ranking. That is not a surprise because they were almost dead last in the league. So coming in at the dead last, the Detroit Lions ranked 32nd among the league's secondaries. Tresh noting, this is the individual who did the noting, that Detroit didn't just have the worst performance of the season, but one of the worst seen in the PFF era, dating back to 2006.
Now think about this. I'm sorry to interrupt. 2006 was 2 years before 2008, which we went 0-16. They're saying this was the worst. This was a worse secondary than the 0-16 team.
And we broke a lot of records that we were the worst defense and we gave up more points. Man, it's just that our defense was just terrible. This group surrendered 0.36 expected points added per pass play, which is the worst of any defense allowed in the season since 2006 by a comparable margin of the next, which is 0.30 points for PFF scores.
Wow.
It's not surprising that it's not surprising at all. If you look at, and I will say this to kind of caveat that, you lose your Pro Bowl outstanding corner in Darius Slay. And then you bring in a guy who's often injured. And then you bring in a rookie who shouldn't have been playing in the first place because he was injured. So we played backups most of the season. The only guy that really played a lot. Then you have your top flight nickel who was hurt some of the year as well. So you're playing backups almost the entire season. In the secondary.
But here's another thing for me that I have to say this. So let's get rid of Stafford because that's the problem.
Yeah.
And I know I'm going to stir up the hornet's nest again, but if you were the worst defense, even including the 2008 season, but it's Stafford's fault, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Because he's never going to be a winner.
I can never see why some of us fellow Lions fans choose that narrative as well.
But I do understand why we were so bad last year because they were teaching them social distancing. And so they try to social distance tackle, and it just doesn't work as well as, they misconstrued the idea of social distancing. So they tried to stay 6 feet apart from their opponent at all times.
That's how they gave so many plays down the field as well. They just gave too much of a cushion. Yeah. I'm not messing with you, man.
Is Danny Amendola retiring from the NFL? Who cares? No, I'm kidding. A recent picture shows Danny hooking up a pair of cleats that hung on the crossbar. Remember you saw that at the end of the game? That there was somebody's cleats that were Danny Amendola's. Signifying he's ready to hang up those things for good. Amendola has not addressed the retirement publicly yet, but it's hard to imagine interpreting that any other way. If Amendola doesn't retire, it's hard to see him coming back, given his relationship with Patricia likely played a big factor in him coming and staying in Detroit.
You know what, though? The only thing I would see, now I'm not saying this is going to be true, is that one thing that would bring him back to Detroit is Matthew Stafford. Because they grew very close. I mean, his kids called him Uncle Danny. So I think that would be a factor of him. If he decided to come back and play another year, I think Matthew Stafford would be a very key piece to that, him coming back.
I agree. I just don't see it happening. I don't think he's coming back.
Either. I don't think he is either.
But now Curt's got some big news. Tell him about the Barry Sanders thing, what Barry Sanders is talking about.
All right, so Barry Sanders, you know who he is, man. Number 20 in the program, number 1 in your hearts. Considering college coaches and Matthew Stafford's plan to return, he said, "For what I understand, there's definitely some college coaches involved in our process, of who Chris Spielman is looking at." Sanders said he's taking a good look at both. And so, to answer your question, there's some great college coaches out there that could step in and do the job. Obviously, there's some offensive and defensive coordinators in the league as well that are being looked at. So that's kind of how we're looking at it. Someone who can really speak to the players and really meet on their level, Sanders said. I mean, you have given a locker room, you have a wide range of ages and experience and talent levels and even levels of motivation, so that you can have someone that can really reach these guys and get them to understand it is a great opportunity coming to the program where you haven't won, but you can establish that reputation. So basically what he's saying is that you want a guy who can come in and really sell that we can build a winner here in Detroit. And he can sell that to the players as well.
Barry Sanders is on the committee of considering coaches and general managers, but he basically spelled out what they're looking for.
Yep.
He says he wants someone who can really speak to the players, meet them on their level. So a player's coach, that's what we're looking for. So, I mean, keep this in mind when we're looking at these different coaches and different people, who fits that criteria. So you're going to get an edge right here because Barry Sanders is saying it on who they're looking at. He says you have to have in any given locker room, you have so many wide range of ages and differences in talent levels, difference in motivation. So you have to be able to reach every single person at that level. Right.
Yeah. It's pretty extensive. You know, he really breaks down the kind of guy they want to take over the Lions as a head coach. So, I mean, I like that insight that he's bringing to this answer to the question is really,
it's a deep insight if you break it down.
And it's enlightening to see the thought process of the hiring committee of who and what they're looking for in the next head coach.
One more interesting thing I wanted to bring out in that comment. He said, you want to get them to understand it's a great opportunity coming to a program where maybe you haven't won, but you can establish that reputation. So they're looking at it as Detroit is going to be a place to come. Yeah, that hasn't happened before. It's not been a destination before. Yeah, the Red Wings did this by winning, not because Detroit was such a glamorous thing. Because I know there's Miami, California, all the different places that people would rather be. Being honest about it,
but basically,
you say I can be a winner, that I can be a part of a winning organization. It draws people like flies, and you pay less than more,
and be part of a winning culture, and that's what they're trying to build in Detroit. So. And the last thing Barry Sanders said is that Matthew Stafford, unfortunately for you guys who are Stafford haters, plans to return to the Detroit Lions.
So that means that that he is not going to retire. There was some speculation out there that due to injuries, due to having family concerns and all that he would be retiring. But that is not the case. Barry Sanders said so, so it is gospel.
Yep.
Okay, so we have dessert with Curt, and it is a special dessert today. If you stayed to the end, you really got some big breaking news. Go ahead, Curt. Let them have it.
We got the question of the day first. Let's get the question of the day first.
I don't want to do the question of the day script. No, I'm just kidding.
Do you think I got it today? Do you think that Kevin Colbert is a good fit for the Lions as a general manager?
Excellent fit.
Excellent fit. Former Lion person himself. You know, he knows the city, but it's going to be hard. Like I said, it's going to be a pipe dream to get him out of his hometown. He can leave his hometown. That's going to be, man, that's good. That's a pitch right there. But now it's time for the dessert, the tasty morsels. Jim and I have a really big announcement. So here we go. Next week, Jim and I will be bringing our show over to the Belly Up Sports Podcast Network. So we're taking the show and we're going to be joining the Belly Up Network over there. They are an excellent source of sports news and podcasts and YouTube shows. So we're going to be taking our show over there. And for a little bit more details on what the transformation may be, here's Jim.
Yeah, we're going to be offering you guys audio versions of the show. We're going to be going to a podcast format. We're going to keep this show so that you guys can go on the go with us. You can listen to us in your car. You can bring us out with you, go for a walk if you can do that, because we don't know if it's mandatory or not, or you can, it's acceptable. Anyway, but if you're working out, you're on the treadmill, you can listen to Detroit Lions podcast, Detroit Lions on the Prowl podcast. We have a bunch of other things that are going to be coming. We're going to be getting a new logo going on here. Things are going to be changing a little bit, but not a lot. The show will stay the same. But we're offering you more opportunities to be able to listen to it at your convenience. And I think that's an amazing thing.
And one more quick announcement. I'll say, so you all know me. You know, I do another show called the Die Hard Den Podcast.
Yes.
And another transformation will be the Die Hard Den Podcast will now be presented by Detroit Lions on the Prowl. So we're going to have two shows, one umbrella. So you're going to get the same content, the same wonderful news and rumors for the Lions, and all your Lions coverage will be in just one place for your man, Curt Steele, right here with Detroit Lions on the Prowl and the Detroit Die Hard Den Podcast presented by Detroit Lions on the Prowl. So those are our big announcements. Those are our tasty morsels.
Huge announcements.
You're going to see that Belly Up logo coming to our platforms as well. So you're going to be seeing it out on our social media. So it's coming. So we can't wait. We're so excited to be part of the Belly Up family.
Absolutely, guys. Thank you for rocking with us. Thank you for doing all this. We're going to bring out more stuff for you as time goes on. So there's more announcements coming, but we'll have to wait on that for now. But really appreciate each and every one of you rocking with us, and the new subscribers. Really appreciate you too, and thank you for joining the family and giving us those wonderful comments that you've been doing. We'll continue to be putting those on the show. Nothing will change with the show format. So, I really appreciate each and every one of you. I say it every day, but I really mean it. So now we're going to take it home with Curt.
Okay. Now, just because we're going over the Belly Up, this program's going to be the same. We're going to bring you the same quality content. And because guess what? Your appreciation for us is a beyond reproach and beyond what we could, our wildest dreams. And we're going to bring you that same content. We're dedicated to bring you what you want. So that we're not going to change that at all. So just because we're moving to a new home doesn't mean we're going to change, because you, our fans, and you, our family, is one of the reasons why we do what we do, because we're Lions fans to do a show for Lions fans. And it would be remiss if we changed anything because we're moving homes. So, our sustained success is a key for us having it, and that's because of your input and your viewership of our platform.
Absolutely.
So from the bottom of our heart, we thank you. And for all that, Jim, thank you for the birthday wish. I really appreciate it. The brother is turning 49 today, and I want to have a happy day and enjoy it. And one of the things is doing this show, so my birthday is already starting off very well today. So you know who we are. You know what we do. We are Detroit Lions on the Prowl, your home for Detroit Lions news and rumors. As always, join the family, subscribe to the channel, like the videos, share the videos, comment on the videos. Join us every day, 11 a.m. weekdays, right here on our YouTube channel for the premieres. You can chat live with us right here on the show. And if you want to get your comments right up front, you know you can do a super chat to get your comments right up front where you want them to be. And all of that helps us get this content to more Lions fans just like yourself. Now, whatever you do in life, you know what you got to do. You got to boss up, ball out, and be the best version of you that you can be. For my man Jim, right here on Detroit Lions on the Prowl, this is Curt Steele, and we will holler at you real soon.
Happy birthday.